and welcome back to another video. This is a wee case that I've had sitting around, and I thought, you know what, I'll dig it out and it might be an easy quote-unquote weekend project, but in reality this is something I've been working on for a couple months, and well, yeah, you'll see why, but it's just a plain old baby AT case, so we'll clean it up. Just removing some of the craft from the computer case because I just sort of threw everything in here. I have this nice Sound Blaster CT2830. I don't know if this thing works, but I'm sure we'll find out. And also in there's just a 3-com Ethernet card. Very compatible with Windows 3.11 and 95. They all seem to have native drivers for this card, so that was a nice surprise. But yeah, I'll just continue stripping the unnecessaries out of this, and so I can clean the case up. So this is just a average socket 7 motherboard, but it's actually quite a nice little motherboard. It's very clean as well, easy to find information on, supports a wide range of processors, more importantly has that coin cell battery, but yeah, very compatible, lots of onboard stuff as well, like you'd get on a normal socket 7 board. So the case itself just has sort of a light layer of dirt and dust. Also, it's sort of baked into the metal a wee bit. You'll see it there around the drive cage. The PSU was disgusting. But yeah, this machine looks like it was built in New Zealand, so my homeland in Auckland. These companies, I'm sure, are well gone by then, but yeah, overall it's quite a neat little case. There's no LCD screen, but you know, you got your turbo button and reset, so just the usual. But yeah, looks like it'll be a good baseline for a good project. I almost want to put like a 486 or something in here because I have another socket 7 machine already. Okay, so just spinning around the case, I need to remove the front panel, so me and my big nose here are gonna jump in and get the front screws done. They were kind of stripped out and rusty and gross, so definitely a good quality screwdriver is required. You can see here from this professional shot, they're very sad. But they all came out and thankfully go into plastic, so they're not rusted in place. just removing the power supply because I am very suspicious of its condition. Sometimes you can open them up and, you know, see if there's anything obviously dying inside. This one, as you'll see soon, is just in disgusting condition. Nothing really abnormal, but you know, if you've got another one that's known to be working and in better health, you might want to consider using that. But yeah, there was extra bonus critters coming out of this one. So after looking at that one, I thought I'll try this one and just pop it open and just see what condition it's in. So I'll just have to swap those face plates over. Not a biggie, just a couple of screws on there, but yeah, I thought I might have better luck using this one just because it looks nicer. No technical reason. So just need to remove these screws, throw them on the ground, just to switch over the little faceplate that the switch mechanism screws into. Thankfully these machines are pretty easy to work on. I mean, you know, you've only got a few screws and then you've adapted it essentially to another case, so one bonus there. Struggling for extra narrative here, just, you know, a power supply swap. It's not the most thrilling of things to see, but here you go. Just giving the case a quick wipe down. It wasn't too bad and just needed a good wipe down with a warm microfiber cloth. Everything just sort of had this layer of dust on it and grime from the 90s, whenever this thing was last used. The front case panel was really bad. I ended up just running it under hot water and using a brush to clean up the rest of the human slime that was trapped in there. The buttons were all sticky, so those needed removing and cleaning. Otherwise they don't go in and out smoothly. So, you know, that's a good trick. If you get buttons that are stuck, you just need to clean the edges like this one. You can see it's all covered in poop and gross stuff from licking fingers and dog hair. And yeah, you just scrub it away and they tend to move much more freely after that. But yeah, I didn't manage to get everything out. I gave it a good scrub, but you can see down there at the bottom near my hand there is some grime remaining, but that's alright. I'll just pop it back together now. At least it's mostly clean. So I started cleaning this 3.5-inch floppy disk drive, and as you can see there from that Q-tip, it is tasty. But basically, this ended up being a bit of a lost cause. I kept cleaning it, but the drive itself just struggled to read disks. I got it to read a few times, but you'll see here it coming up soon. It just yeah, intermittent at best. So yeah, now I just need to put the board back into its standoffs properly, because I didn't have any real standoffs, and I'm using a screw to try and prop the board up so it doesn't bend. So not a good idea, just in case anyone's wondering. But yeah, get one of these little cheap toolkits. They've got these little whatever they're called things, yeah, and you can use them to screw in the standoffs. Much easier than pin nose pliers, because getting good torque on them is quite hard, and sometimes they come undone when you try and unscrew the board. So yeah, anyway, now that that's all sorted, I'll just put some screws in there and yeah, put the board back in the case. So you'll see here I've got the disk drive apart for like the 10th time. I did manage to get it to read once or twice, as I said, so it's just a Windows 98 boot disk. But yeah, not reliably, and when you got one of these machines, you really need the disk drives to work. There's other ways to get stuff on them. But yeah, you'll see I got it here once, and then I gave up and just found another disk drive. But it had something to do with these sensors. I tried cleaning them and getting them all put back together, and it wasn't until I got the machine fully together that I realised the disk drive had actually just died. So my celebration was a bit premature. But yeah, just poking the cables for the front header bits and pieces back through, struggling to get the faceplate on because the plastic has kind of warped a wee bit, but yeah, just screw in the new switch and put everything into the case. So it seems a little strange running the power cord for the front switch, power switch there, through the case like that. Um, I found there was a nice big gap there. You see there's, slack, and it's not actually pinched at all. It just looks like it on this angle, but I just wanted to try and keep the cable out of the way from the other side of the board, because I actually did try to do some cable management, by that just sort of hiding everything, but yeah, you'll see in the final version of this sort of build that I think I got it looking alright. It's just a quick shot, of course, before the horrendous IDE cables get fitted, but yeah, I think it looks alright. So this is something I thought was pretty neat when I was cleaning the machine, and also you can see why I decided to call this saucy. There's sauce glued to the bottom of it. Ended up being like hot glue, when it congeals into this sort of horrible mess that you can't you have to scrape off with your fingernail. It was quite neat because it had all the specs on the bottom of the machine there of what it originally was built with, so yeah. Just putting the CPU fan on there and running all the power for that. Kind of high-pitched, high RPM fans. I would on my other machine. I'm going to try and look for some Noctua fans and maybe put a fan controller in there, just because these machines, those fans, they didn't have any real management over the speed back then, so they can be quite loud. It's Murphy's Law, whenever you put the case on one of these machines, that something inevitably breaks, and that case being the 3.5-inch floppy disk drive. It stopped reading my discs. Bastard. So, yeah, I ended up swapping it, which is kind of funny when you put everything back together, you have to pull it all apart, but in part 2 of this build, which ended up dragging out, yeah, there was not just that I had to contend with, so I just threw MS-DOS on it for a quick test here, and yeah, the turbo light does actually work on this machine. It's just the LED was extremely dim. I think it needs replacing or maybe reseating, but yeah, just blast through MS-DOS here. So after installing MS-DOS, this is where the project came off the rail and dragged out. I figured out very quickly that I had no mouse support. No matter what serial mouse I tried or what port, BIOS settings, I could not get it to work at all. And I've run across this issue before and ended up switching motherboards. And I found something very interesting about how these work, and also all the pitfalls that I did and all the things you definitely don't want to do. So a lot of diagnostic work and form reading and motherboard manuals and things to try and figure this out, and help from a lot of people too. So yeah, anyway, stay tuned for part 2, which is in the works. It should be out soon, and thanks for watching.